You've heard that one, haven't you? What's the difference between Domino's Pizza and a jazz musician?
No.
So cold this morning. It's just gone 8 off into London. We're going to have a coffee with Dan, but I've got a few other things I need to do first. My dad used to have a Ford Sierra that had a heated front windscreen. I've never had a car ever, or seen a car with one ever since, and it was a fantastic idea. Now, some mornings I'll get out and scrape or use the de-icer. This morning it's that cold and I'm that tired I can't be bothered, so I just like to spray windscreen wash on the windscreen, as that's got a lower freezing point than water and it tends to clear things off eventually. Just gives me a chance to get my podcasts on. Nice easy drive in this morning. Just remember which side my pass is on. I like this new bag, but it hasn't half extended how far back I go, especially with the tripod on. It's heavy as well, really heavy.
Multi-colour feet.
So we're doing some work today with the Mariposa Trust, who are a charity that better known as Saying Goodbye, for people who have lost babies or children early in childbirth. Really heartbreaking stories that they share, and also giving people an opportunity to kind of remember those children that they've lost. We've never been in that position, very fortunate in that way, but we have got friends who have gone through that, and so everything I can do to help out. What a great organisation they are for what they do. Off for coffee with Dan. Day down there.
You know,
seriously, if you want a camera for filming gigs and everything,
total beginners, they could be.
Right, well, I am delighted to welcome for a coffee with Dan, Rob Hughes. Welcome, Rob. We're in a Cafe Nero in Westminster, and I forgot to bring coffee with Dan mug for Rob. Oh, sat in my car. It's unbelievable. I should bring it with me today. Unless you're walking back up there, I'll give it you on the way. So Rob, let's just introduce yourself a little bit. What do you do? What's your sort of
What do I do? Yeah, well, I'm like yourself. I'm a saxophonist, and I really wanted to meet up with Dan today because I've written a couple of books, and I wanted to hand them over and let see what you thought of them, and try and spread the word, really.
Rob's books, I will link to them below, and I will do a review of them as well soon. Obviously, I've only just seen them for the first time now.
And so, we're basically very similar animals, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we love jazz, and I mean, I think you play more jazz than me, which I've got 2 kids now. I know you've got 2, but I find the only difficulty is sort of being able to play the kind of gigs I want to play, which often jazz doesn't.
You can't afford to live at the same time.
It's tricky. It's tricky, isn't it? So
you've heard that one, haven't you? What's the difference between Domino's Pizza and a jazz musician?
No.
You can feed a family of 4 with Domino's Pizza. So how did you come down to London then?
So I studied at Goldsmiths and I came down in '93 and I enjoyed that and graduated in '96. Then did a tour, did the Blues Brothers musical on tour around the UK for 6 months. And I thought this is amazing. And then after the 6 months of touring around the UK, it stopped and everything stopped. I had no work, nothing. And I realised at that point, that 3 years studying music, that nobody had ever mentioned what it's like to be self-employed, or that perhaps when a tour is coming to an end that you might have to get in touch with people and let people know you're around. So yeah, it's been a long process.
One of the questions I ask everyone on this is if you only had 15 minutes a week to practice, which may have happened a bit, especially for touring.
Yeah.
What would you work on if you just had 15 minutes? What would be the...
I think probably for me, it's long notes, just tones, and unfortunately, my little fingers are not reacting. I know you've had a finger injury, and I played football and had a finger. And so it's these areas. It was beautifully described to me that our fingers are like, the main one here is like a motorway, and that one's like a B road. And so just keeping those in, but it's very hard. I have to say, I mean, watching your vlogs, you obviously teaching online and things like that, and took time to inspire students, and I think it's great what you're doing. But I think the hardest thing I find, ironically, now is the internet. I find before I know it, I'm practicing something. I've got blooming computer open. Before I know it, I'm on Facebook looking at budgerigars. What would be your...
My 15 minutes, it would be long tones probably, and maybe harmonic minor or melodic minor scales, just because you've got the alto scale within that, or that Phrygian dominant scale. You've just got, I find I can get out so many holes. Although recently, augmented arpeggios, one of the things we've been looking at is like Sonny Rollins and Colin Hawkins with my students, and the amount of times they're using augmented arpeggios when you don't, just to kind of get that slightly jarring feel. Or Luca said something as well, and I brought this up in the blog about going back over old transcriptions.
Right.
So finding a recording that you've already done. And I was doing something similar yesterday, talking about this Joshua Redmond solo over Santa Claus Is Coming to Town that he does on the Warner Brothers Jazz.
I haven't heard this.
Great track. But there's this killer 2/5 lick he plays in it, and I just maybe practice that for a little bit, because that's by transcribing, or by listening back and playing back, I'm using my ears and listening to tone and working on time as well. But it's thankfully I get a little bit more time. But we're going back to the distraction thing. I found that a huge problem with the computer.
Very difficult.
There are a few little plugins you can get for Chrome, which basically disable things. I
can't bring myself to admit that I have to use an app to not go on a website. It's tragic.
If I had the money, I would get a shed down the bottom of the garden, and I would just disappear down there with my horn and my metronome.
But the one thing I think is wonderful about being a musician or doing anything for yourself is practice. I see it like a bank, and you're investing in yourself. We can't control the music industry, and it's going. Because of the internet, it's changed a lot in the last 10 years. But the one thing we can do is invest in ourselves. And okay, I've got a question for you. If you could have any kind of special power, superhero power, what would it be?
To be able to eat and not put on weight.
Excellent. I like that. No, I like that. It's good. Yeah, and mine would be to pause time. Because I think if you could pause time, you'd be brilliant in everything. You'd be a brilliant footballer.
Have you seen
Limitless? A brilliant curricular. I don't think I have.
It's a film with, what's his name, out of The Hangover in.
I've heard of this.
And basically you take a pill, and it basically it stops all the distractions, and your brain suddenly absorbs everything and kind of allows you to...
No, I have seen this. This is middle age for you. I've seen it and I can't remember. Yes, and then it starts to turn, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got Robert De Niro in it. Yeah.
Very good film.
And basically, it gets, without spoiling the plot line for too many people, basically gets to the point where, of course, he's so clever, he's worked out how to control the supply. If you were able to put a billboard ad outside every music college in the country and the States, what would it say?
I'm just trying to stop all of the sarcastic comments coming out, or drug-related comments coming out. What would I tell music students? I would tell them probably to make sure that you have a second string. We spoke about that. I think, especially playing the saxophone, I think there are very few musicians that get to really play the music that they love. So when you do, which is great, but for example, it's no good just being a great bebop player and thinking that you're going to enter the industry and survive, that you have to be able to play in different styles and be adaptable and things like that, or possibly have another string that is outside of music. And I don't mean this to be negative, but I think it's just if I had my time over, I wish I was good at something else.
What's your best purchase? It can be anything.
Right.
Under 50 quid.
Music related or
Anything.
not? Anything. God, these questions. Why did you email these? I know, best purchase under 50 quid. Well, I would say, and it's not under 50 quid, but I know you've blogged about it, but I would say these BAM cases are pretty superb. Now they're not, I'm cheated there on the, I'll just explain to anybody that's not a musician, these are said cases. And for years and years, we have to walk around with these huge cases that are back-breaking or anti.
Have you been alright with those? Julian, I was chatting to Julian Segal.
The clasps are useless.
Yeah,
he's
fitting all these new ones.
I mean, Bam, if you're listening,
it looks like something like Fort Knox.
I know. I put bands around it and stuff. I mean, basically, we're talking about a case here that you would have thought it's beautifully designed. It fits on your back beautifully, and then whoever was on the clasps was having a bad day. Was he? He was having a sorry.
That's Rob never getting picked up in a black cab again.
That's a bitter Londoner there for you.
Well, Rob, thank you very much for meeting us and everything. Make sure we'll do a review on the books, and you check out Rob's books below. Yeah. And I've just ruined the audio.
Brilliant.
But there we go. And have you got a website and everything?
Yes, it's Rob Hughes Music.
I'll link to it below anyway. Cheers, Rob.
Lovely.
Thanks very much, mate.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks a lot. Well, I think that was the best coffee with Dan we've done so far. So thank you, Rob. Thank you all also for watching. I think the light is fading fast, so I better call it a day for this vlog. Make sure you check out yesterday's vlog by looking here, and check out what I was doing this time last year this way, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye!